Hi, Severance fans. Welcome back to Tori Talks with Dr. S. I'm Tori. This is Dr. S. Today we'll talk about Severance Season 2, Episode 7?
Already?
This is Episode 7.
Stop it.
I don't like that at
sad.
all. It's called Shikai Bardo. Obviously, I Googled Shikai Bardo. It is a Buddhist concept. Originally, Bardo meant period between one life and the next, but it has since been expanded to describe any time when a person's normal way of life is altered. Okay. Cool. So, I mean, obviously that does pretty much sum up Gemma's experience. But you guys, we finally get to see what has been happening with Gemma. This is the episode I've been waiting for, and it's my favorite one of the season.
Oh my gosh, so good. I agree. It was
satisfying.
so satisfying,
Sad.
yet still not providing answers, but enough.
But like
to keep
on
me...
the way to the answers,
yes.
kind of. Like a stepping stone.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain how I feel about it because I was like, oh, I'm so relieved to know stuff, but what do I know? What the heck is she doing? What are they doing to her?
Well, I don't know what's going to happen to her. We don't know what's happening to her, but obviously, let's talk through it, and then maybe by the end of this, we'll know.
I like that.
We'll put something together. Well, it first starts out with how Gemma and Mark met, which they were donating blood. How sweet is that? But did you notice that lumen drop on the blood container? This is all lumen. Everything is lumen.
So they were able to like analyze the blood.
This is not good.
No.
Yeah. So this is the thing too, is like they live in the city of Kier, and lots of things like that diner is Kier.
Yes.
Like it's Pips or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. So are these people aware? Like, do they know that everything is lumen this, lumen that, Kier this, Egan this? You know, like, are they aware? Because this is just them living their normal life.
Well, and depending on like lumen existed, Severance existed. It was being talked about, right?
That's true. Okay.
Whenever Mark decided, he knew it was like controversial.
Yeah.
Right? We still don't know why Gemma is in there, how that happened. Like, Mark didn't know about it. Did she make a deal, that Mark doesn't know about? Because, yeah, we got glimpses of their relationship, but things could have also been bad. Having fertility issues drives wedges in couples. So
it's rough.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. So
wow.
It is kind of a lot of questions.
Yes. I think we have some answers. Okay. So let's start with now Gemma as Gemma, not Miss Casey in Lumen. Okay. And she's having medical exam and she's being asked where she went. Okay, by the nurse, right? And then she says, how many rooms do I have today? 6. So we're like, what are you talking about?
What are these rooms?
Right? Yeah. Well, these rooms, they're called anything from Allentown, Kearns, Drainsville, Siena, Loveland, Wellington, and even Cold Harbor. And when she goes in there, she's severed, and it's a bad experience. It's bad experiences like going to the dentist, being on a bumpy plane ride,
and she feels like she was always there. Like when she goes to the dentist, she was just there, but the dentist says it was like 4 months ago.
Yeah.
But so that means, they really are messing with her chip because she's not just severed like into 2, she's severed into all those rooms?
Yeah.
That's messed up.
That's insane. Other bad experiences, exercising, you see her like in an exercise outfit, which is dated, and then writing thank you notes until her hand, she can't even write legibly anymore.
Her hand is like,
Yeah. So it's like, are these all of Gemma's big fears or just things that she finds uncomfortable? Because we also see in flashback that she says she hates writing thank you notes, right?
Oh.
So it makes you think like, wait, maybe she has a fear of flying, so it maybe she doesn't like exercising. Like, I don't know. Like, nobody likes going to the dentist. So it almost makes you think like it was catered to her and her difficult experiences, right? I don't know. Anyway, so one of the flashbacks with Mark and her is their fertility struggles. She has a miscarriage. They try 3 times for IVF. When she goes to the fertility clinic, also the paperwork has a lumen drop on it. And you see Dr. Maurer, the evil, walk by her. You saw that, right?
Yeah.
Most people are catching it, that he was a part of this. So then you think like maybe she made a deal with the devil because lumen being the devil, because she wants a baby. Yeah. So maybe they're like, well, if you do this experimental trial, maybe she's just thinking drugs, then you will have a baby at the end of this, right? But you're going to have to leave Mark for a while. Or maybe she doesn't even know she's leaving Mark. I don't know.
That's what I don't know either. Like, did she just agree to it thinking it was going to be like a quick procedure somewhere, but then they kept her and then staged her death?
Right.
Or was she part of that? I don't know.
I don't think she was part of it because, okay, so she says with Mark, she's going to a party, they're going to play charades, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
He doesn't go. And then that's like the night the cops show up as if like she was killed. Well, she either knew he wouldn't be going to the party with her and was like, this will be the night that I go with them, like according to whatever stipulations they gave her.
Yeah.
Or they said, come with me. I don't
Or
know.
they took her.
Or let's just
They
go right
just-
into kidnapping.
Yeah. Because she doesn't seem like she would go.
I know, but then when she is Gemma, is she just being compliant Gemma in those floors because she knows, like, if you do this, then we'll let you go back to Mark? Because it could be, yeah.
But
like,
she does try to run at some point.
so she doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
Right.
But, I mean, it could be that in the beginning she did, but then she realized how crazy it is, so now she wants to leave.
yeah.
But yeah, it's really...
This Dr. Maurer guy clearly has, like, all of her medical records and probably thought she's a good candidate to be experimented on, I'm guessing. Which experimenting on? So she says that she's been to every room except Cold Harbor. And we all know Cold Harbor's like, well, we don't know, but we know it's a big deal. And he's almost done.
He's almost done, and it has to do with Mark. So what is... And when she goes there, who's going to be there?
Yeah, and
If she goes there.
what are they refining? But we also get a crazy shot of a camera coming down through the desk where Mark sits and all the way down to like a basement, basically, which, by the way, that was not CGI. Apparently, they really did that. Did you know that?
No.
Holy crap. Yeah, they really went down with the wires.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Anyway, it goes down to 4 desks of people that look kind of like Kelly, Irv, Dylan, and Mark. It's interesting, but instead of facing toward each other like they do up there, they're facing away. And then Drummond comes down, and then I think that Dr. Mauer's there, but he's like wearing a wig. Like it's
so
creepy.
Weird.
Yeah, but that's also when Dr. Maurer was like, "Oh, she's fond of me," and then I think he's like, "Didn't she try to break your finger?" So yeah, she doesn't want to be there.
No, she does not.
So yeah,
And
you're
she's
right.
in
Must have
pain.
been
You can
kidnapped.
see it in her eyes in every scene.
It's like how we were saying, what transcends being severed, right? What feelings? And then I think of like that book that we've talked about before, The Body Keeps the Score. Gosh, that's very much applies to this, right? Because when she comes out of these rooms and he's like, "How do you feel?" She's like, "My hand hurts, my teeth hurt, I'm sore."
All of that remains, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
right? It actually is a fascinating experiment. I would never do it, but it is like, what does the mind push past, right? Anyway, there's also weird things where, like, the clinic sends her, because she's like, "Oh, I must be on the mailing list," because then they send those little ideographic cards of, like, the fighting or whatever, which she says that guy's not fighting someone else, he's fighting his ego. It's the same ones that we saw Dylan steal from O&D.
Oh, yes.
You know? So,
yes. Okay.
I mean, yes, we're making connections. We see that again. Still don't know what it all means or why they're there, but I think she's being experimented on, and I think there was some kind of deal where if you do this, then you will have a baby and you go back to Mark, or you're kidnapped. But while we have you, comply so you can go back to Mark.
Yes.
Because she's like crying, "Mark," and
She wants to go back to him. So because I kind of at a time thought, oh, maybe she wasn't happy in the marriage, and that's why.
Right.
She left, but now I don't think that's the case.
I know.
Yeah.
Another thing when I was saying like her biggest fears, because she's in that room with the thank you notes and Dr. Mauer's there is like her husband, and then he says, "I love you," and she doesn't say, "I love you too." Well, that also happened with Mark in a flashback where she says, "Hey, you didn't say I love you too." That must be a fear of hers or a concern. That doesn't have to be like a full-blown fear. But we did see that, and then that happened again. So he's like trying to I feel like they did a questionnaire of like what are your pet peeves, or what do you dislike, or what makes you feel uncomfortable? Malice, maybe the frolic, maybe those tempers, and then he's like testing her, I don't know why, but anyway, in that room though, that's where she decides. I love when she says she asks like if she'll see Mark again, and then he says something like, "Mark will benefit from the world you're siring," and she's like, "Can you just talk to me like a normal person?" And then she whacks him.
Yes, I was so happy.
And then it's just so sad to watch her go down the elevator or up the elevator. Where is she going? I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
She's going in the elevator, and then she gets down like she's gonna escape, and there's Mr. Milchick there, and she's totally Miss Casey.
Yeah. I
She's
felt
being
so bad
severed.
for her.
Miss
when
Casey.
Mr. Milchick. Oh.
In her sweet little disposition, like that actress did such a good job because you totally can tell it's Miss Casey,
Yeah.
right?
And she turns around.
He
And
says it, but
Yeah.
she's like, "Oh, how did I get here?" You know?
Yeah.
She's just her sweet little self, and then he's like, "Well, go ahead and go back,"
Yeah.
and she does, and then she's back, and
Oh my gosh.
it's heartbreaking. It really is. So it was like a satisfying. It's satisfying to see because we're like, oh my gosh, all I want to know is where's Gemma, you know?
Yeah, but then you feel so bad for her because she's trapped.
Maybe I didn't want to see it.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But another part of this is, well, we still have Mark, who had some kind of seizure activity, medical episode, and Devin is there with Ragabi. And she flat out tells Devin, Gemma's alive.
Yeah.
She's like, no, that's 100%.
Yeah.
And then, why does Devin want to call Miss Cobell?
I didn't get that either. And I was like, do not call her.
But now I'm getting suspicious of Devin a little bit.
Yeah.
This is his sister.
Oh.
It was weird.
Yeah.
And then she's like, this whole reintegration thing stops now.
Yeah. Why? Oh, you're right. That is interesting.
That's just, because, right, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, calling Miss Cobell, you're right. I was like, why would you call her?
What are you talking about?
She was already really sketchy at your house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She, took your baby to another room. You thought that she, kidnapped her. That was so weird. And the fact that Ragabi instantly retreated. She's like, well, I'm out. The fact that you threw that name out there, I gotta go.
Yeah.
And there was no, because she was like, no, stay. And she just was out. So I love Devin, and I don't like how I feel about her.
But that does kind of make sense. And also, why would she be against reintegration? She's been wanting against Mark being severed this whole time.
Yeah.
So, unless it's him being sick.
Yeah, so I'm sure it's hard to see your brother like that, but it was just more I don't know, not even open to it. Just not even well, what's going to happen next? What's the process like? Just this stops now.
Yeah.
Oh,
that is a little suspicious.
I don't know, yeah. And I think it's funny, the first thing the nurse asked Gemma when we see her in this episode as Gemma in Lumen is, where did you go? And then Devin does that to Mark when he comes, when he wakes up. She's like, where did you go?
And why does she know to ask that, right?
It was suspicious.
Yes.
Where did you go?
There was talk of that birthing place too, again, which we haven't heard mentioned in a while. I remember when we rewatched season 1 getting very mad about that whole thing of severing women so they can have children and not have the burden on the wife, right? So then I wonder if that whole thing's going to come back in the next few episodes, which I hope it does.
And maybe that specific woman was told what is your biggest fear? Taking care of kids, or my career suffering from, or whatever. I'm just saying, it's all kind of coming together a little bit, not completely,
right?
But
and I still wonder about Miss Wong too, because I know she seems too old to be the daughter of Mark and Gemma.
Oh, I think we squashed it with this, right?
Yeah, I think because of her age. But then I'm like, well, who is she and why?
What's I feel
like there has to be some significance to her.
Why?
Right?
Why?
How old is she?
Why do I feel like she's 14?
Yeah.
I mean, I know the actress is not, but yeah. So we got a lot jam-packed episode, but also still have no idea.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, we have some idea.
I mean, it's a mystery, so I get it. You're not going to tell us everything, but I want more.
Oh my gosh, Gemma. Poor Gemma.
Yeah. How's it gonna? I feel like they're gonna get close, they're gonna see each other, but who are they gonna see?
Yeah.
The severed version, are Mark and Gemma gonna see each other, or is it gonna be one of the versions of Gemma? Mark's innie, Mark's outie, I don't know.
It just makes me think why the other ones wanted to be severed. Dylan, obviously he's got 3 kids, and Irv with maybe PTSD.
Yeah.
Helly's obviously an Egan, and then Mark, but then we still don't know if Gemma signed up for this or not.
Right.
Okay.
And it only is because of Gemma that Mark did it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I kind of am now leaning towards Gemma did not do this willfully.
Okay. I don't know. Well, great episode. My favorite episode so far. All right. Let us know what you thought of this crazy episode of Severance. Comment below, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.